Oh, hello, hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because in this video, we are going to talk about the future changes in Overwatch. Some of these changes are currently in the PTR, and some of these other changes are set to hit the PTR in the near future, meaning it's going to hit public servers in the near future. So, let's get right into this. The first thing is, on the last video I covered Roadhog's hook, so there's no really need to cover that, but Diva's getting nerfed! Now, for those of you who don't know, Diva is my most used and favorite Overwatch hero, and she's going to be nerfed, and the reason for this is because people are saying Diva is way too powerful. Now, when you play Diva, she has 600 health, 100 health, 500 armor, and armor being armor, it takes a long time for it to be, well, depleted, because armor is, well, the most powerful among the three: health, shield, and armor. This means that Diva is taking more damage than she needs to take. It's taking forever to destroy her suit. So what Blizzard is going to do is they're going to nerf Diva, and they're going to give her 300 health and 300 armor. So she's still going to technically be more durable than Roadhog, but taking out that armor won't be as much of a hassle as it currently is. I believe this is still in the PTR, and it should be hitting public servers in the near future. The next change is Sombra! Now, a lot of people are complaining about Sombra, saying Sombra is really weak, completely useless, but for whatever reason, I think she's actually really effective, but they're saying that Sombra is too weak. Now, this is just one of the changes that they've made to Sombra. I believe this is in PTR, but Jeff Kaplan, the guy who runs Overwatch, he said that there are going to be more changes to Sombra. So, the current change to Sombra on the PTR is that she hacks stuff faster. So usually when you get out your fingers and you start hacking something, either enemies or health packs, it takes about, I say, 3 seconds to hack somebody, and I believe they cut it in half, so now it takes like 1.5 seconds, which means you can hack things much faster, and I'm not really too sure how big of a change that would have, because, I mean, 3 seconds to hack something is still really quick, and just cutting it in half wouldn't really do much, but they said that they're going to have some future changes to Sombra. They weren't specific on what they were, but be on the lookout for another video in the future discussing Sombra's future changes whenever it happens. Next topic, which is about Diva. I forgot about this. Now, we talked about Diva's health nerf thing, but she is getting a damage buff. Now, at the moment, when Diva fires one blast from one of her shotgun cannons, I believe it shoots 6 pellets, and each pellet, depending on how much range you got between you and the target, each pellet does about 3 damage. They're going to buff it, so now instead of her shooting 6 pellets, I believe she's going to shoot 10 or 12. But instead of it doing 3 damage per pellet, it's going to do 2. So you kinda have more pellets doing less damage, which means you're going to be doing more damage at a faster rate, and you're more likely to hit your target because there are more pellets. It's going to be really weird. It's going to require some testing, but I'll probably get a video on that when it happens. And finally, we're going to talk about some future patches that are most probably going to hit Overwatch and are completely unannounced. And I've actually noticed this stuff happening with the previous Overwatch patches. Now, if you pay attention to Overwatch competitive play, you notice that gamers being gamers tend to find a cheap way for victory, and developers, being developers, try to patch those cheap ways to victory, which is where these patches come in. Now, in Overwatch Competitive Season 1, it was a no-hero limit. Everybody was taking, like, Bastions and Torbjorns, and you had, like, 5 Bastions and, like, 1 Torbjorn, you could never get out of spawn. So that's when they patched it, and they added a 1-hero limit. And then come Season 2, Ana was available, and with Ana having her OP nano boost at the time, she would nano boost a Reinhardt, and Reinhardt would just charge in there and just wipe everybody out, or she would nano boost a Reaper and Genji, and they would just run in there and use their ulti, and there was nothing you can do about it. Then came the Ana nerf, which is where Ana's nano boost does the same damage, however, you don't have that speed boost, meaning that the nano boosted player isn't as powerful as they were on Season 2. And finally bring on to Season 3, which is basically War of Tanks. If you watch a lot of Season 3 competitive Overwatch, you see that there is always going to be an Ana, a Reinhardt, a Roadhog, and a Diva. And what they do is Reinhardt has the shield, Roadhog hooks you, bring you in close, and when Roadhog brings you in close, Roadhog and Diva just rip you apart. And Ana is there to heal the tanks, because the tanks are big targets, they're really easy to heal. Now they're patching the tanks. We have Diva's nerf, We have Roadhog's hook, which is, I guess you can call it a nerf, like fixing up the hook. It's going to be more difficult to use Roadhog pretty much. So they nerfed Diva, they made Roadhog a little more difficult to use, and I also forgot to mention they did nerf Ana's nano grenade. Now when you hit a teammate with a nano grenade, it doesn't heal you as much as it used to. So now they're nerfing this tank idea that guys are doing in Overwatch, which means you can go and predict whatever happens with these MLG players and these competitive players on Season 4, whatever heroes they tend to do and whatever cheap technique they seem to find. I mean, we're gonna find it, we're gamers, you know that. We always find the cheap ways to win. So, whatever these gamers do on Season 4 will probably wind up being nerfed by the game developers. Not for, being jerks, but for balance issues. Balance issues. You can actually see, I mean, back then Roadhog was hooking you like around the corner, and the game devs discovered that players were doing this when they shouldn't have been doing it, and the hook shouldn't have been turned around the corner. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. You guys get it, right? If it's like OP or it's not fair, they nerf it. And the best way for them to discover what's OP and what's not fair is to watch competitive play. So whatever happens on Season 4 competitive will probably get nerfed. Game devs also like to keep Overwatch feeling fresh. Now, if you actually keep in touch from Overwatch from launch until this point, there are a lot of heroes that were very usable in the beginning, and not so much now. One of which is Reaper. Reaper was a beast when Overwatch first launched, but now that everybody knows how Overwatch plays, Reaper's not really being taken that much. It's the same thing with Winston. I made a Winston has a problem video quite a few weeks ago, and I discussed why Winston isn't as usable as he used to be because all these high DPS heroes. So I noticed the game devs, they buff heroes who aren't really being used that much. Like Diva. Back in the day, Diva wasn't really used that much, and then here they are, gave Diva this 600 health and armor boost, and now you see Divas all the time. The game devs see Divas a little too overpowered, so they're gonna fix her up a little bit. So with the current heroes who are not being used as much as they should be, I feel like maybe Reaper is going to get a buff, Winston is going to get a buff, and just the heroes who aren't being touched that much, because with the current play of Overwatch, it's just tanks, nothing but tanks. Even when you don't even have to be playing competitive, just play like regular quick play, and you see like 2, 3, even 4 tanks. So if that's the case, they're already getting onto a lot of tank nerfing, so maybe I'm predicting in the future, be expecting a regular DPS hero, or maybe even like support heroes like Junkrat. Not just support, just like those kind of heroes, Junkrat, Mei, Hanzo. Expect those guys to get a buff, because they're trying to keep the game fresh and balanced. That way players won't favor one specific group. Right now players are favoring tanks and healers, and nobody's giving Reaper any love, so Reaper might get a buff in the future. So that's all the Overwatch news for this video. If anything else pops up in Overwatch in the future, I'll be sure to make a video about it. So if you like this video, elbow that like button with a mighty rock-solid elbow. You can follow me up on Twitter, at Davontos, man. I'll leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. It's almost finished. You can follow me up on Twitter, at Davontos, man. I think I already said that. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video, which is going to be Modern Warfare Remastered. Have a nice day.
Walk it off.
Man, let's get this moving. Group up with me. Get back.
Don't worry, my friend.
Let's try that again. Ever get that feeling?
Walk it off.
Heroes never die. Nanoboost administered.
Victory. Play of the game.
Heroes never die.